Okay, here we go. I saw this lab. It's a BGP, a Border Gate Protocol lab for routing, and I really liked it. And I'm just going to go ahead and do a video on it because I think everybody will enjoy it, and it gives me an opportunity to learn it if I teach somebody. So in this lab, I've taken the liberty to configure ISP1, ISP2, and INET routers. They all have the border gate configuration set up on them, and communication is good between them all. And we are going to work with Autonomous System 65001, configure router 1, router 2, and router 3 to all be an IBGP, I'm tripping on that word, an interior border gate protocol routing autonomous system. So get that set up, and then our ultimate goal will take R1 and be able to ping to INET router loopback 5.5.5.5. So let's go ahead and get started on router 1, and we're just going to start with some configuration. We can see there is no BGP active. Pressing on, let's see here, config T, router BGP 65 autonomous system 65001. We're going to do a BGP router, dash ID of 1.1.1.1. Make it easier to identify when we start pinging and looking at routes. BGP table. We're going to advertise our network, which is 172.16.1.0, and it has a mask 24-bit, so it's 255.255.255.0. And then we're going to go ahead and reach out to our nearest neighbor interface. Happens to be 172.16.1.2, and we're going to remote to it interior BGP of autonomous system number 65001. All right, so let's exit out of here, and let's do that command again, show IP BGP, and we're good to go. Next, no BGP, big T, router BGP 65001, BGP or router ID. It's going to be 2.2.2.2. We're going to advertise the network we just came in on, 172.16.1.0. It has a mask of 255.255.255.0. And we're going to reach out to that neighbor, 172.16.1.1, and we're going to look to them in the same autonomous system number. Create group first. Try this again. Neighbor 172.16.1.1. Oh, I see what I did. Remote as just a typo there, folks. Now we've done this half right here from communication router 1 to router 2. We have an adjacency. If we look at like a router 1, we have an adjacency up there. So let's configure between router 2 and router 3. Let's look at that. That network is 10.1.1.0/24. So let's just do that. Network 10.1.1.0 with a mask of 255.255.255.0. And let's reach out to that neighbor. Its IP address, the interface IP address, 1.1.1. Oops. And we're going to route to him and the same autonomous system number. Bam. Nothing set up on 3, so we wouldn't do it. Let's exit out of here and let's look at our. There we go. See into our BGP table. BGP table is we have 10.1.1 network and the 72.16.1.0 network. And look, it says if we want to get to our neighbor, it'd be that's our hot, or if we want to get that network. So if there's any other IP addresses that was behind router 1, that would be the direction we go to get them. So if there's a computer off the side or a switch, yada yada yada. All right, so on to 3. Nothing there. Router BGP. Autonomous system number 65001. BGP router ID 3.3.3.3. And we are going to do, let's go ahead and reach out to that neighbor that was talking to us. Our neighbor 10.1.1.2, and we're going to remote in the same autonomous system number, which is 65,001. And then now we're right here on the edge. I can see us advertising our IP address, maybe the 10.1.1 network, but I can't see us trying to do the internal network of 172 routing it out. I'm going to go and do network 10.1.1.0, and it's going to be a mask of 255.255.255.0. All right, so now let's reach out to ISP1 and ISP2. So we're going to go neighbor 198.51.100.2. We're going to remote an exterior, an EBGP protocol, and that's going to be autonomous system number 65,002. Now we're going to reach out to ISP2, 6504, and our IP address is actually 6. Boom. Make sure you're doing a second or two. Get a neighbor relationship there. We hope we get a neighbor relationship there. There's 6. Yep. Boom. There's our neighbor relationship. So let's take a second to show IP route. And we can see already we know how to get from router 3 to 5.5.5.5. We run all the way out there. So let's go and can we get there? Let's see. We do a ping to see it, or we could have done oh, we already looked at IP route. So let's do show IP BGP. And as we see in our BGP table, we see that route. We see our next hop. We have 2 different paths to it, and how we determine which one we are currently taking is by looking at the little keys off the side here. It shows that it likes, this is a valid path, and it says it's the best path. And to go to 5.5.5, we are first going to hit .as and then .as. All right. And then we can also see that we have to get to our I for eternal route 172.16.1.0. Our next hop is the next hop IP address on router 2, or their IP address on router 2. You can see that's internal, and it likes that as the route. And oddly enough, though it has chosen the slowest link we have a 10 meg link and a 100 meg link here, but it has chosen the slower link, and that is all due to router ID. We'll have to do some configuration to change that. But first, let's see what we got on router 2. Does router 2 know how to do it? Well, router 3 knows how to get there. Can router 2 get there? We're just going to do show IP route. Look right at the routing table, and it does not do it. Well, it should be. I mean, they're neighbors. Aren't they sharing information, router 3 and router 2? Well, they're part of the same autonomous system number, and they'd have advertisements between each other. So we're going to do show IP BGP. Well, it's on the BGP table, but it's not on the routing table. So will we be able to reach it? I don't think so. And the reason being is because it shows the next hop as 198.51.102, which happens to be ISP1's IP address on their interface. And that is because BGP will, when it advertises the route within, there's a rule, when it learns a route from another autonomous system, it's not going to change the next hop IP address when it advertises. And we have to go ahead and tell router 3 to go ahead and change that as it advertises to router 2. That would change that. And then let's just take a look at router 1. and just see what router 1 knows how to get to. Show IP route. Well, he knows how to get all the way to router 3, and we'll confirm that by going ping 10.1.1.1, and he could talk to that, but he's not going to be able to hit either, even though potentially, as soon as that clears, we'll just let that do its thing. We do a show IP BGP, and it's not even advertising in here, so it's not even learning, and it's not even learning the route from router 2, and that's because when a router learns a route from another router, it won't advertise that. So you can fix that by making router 1 a full mesh with router 3, and that might work just great right here. Make them both neighbors, router 1 and router 3. But it might not work in a larger environment, maybe in a production environment. You might want to set up a router reflector. So we are now going to get to the heart of what we were trying to do. I'm going to turn router 3. I'm going to tell router 3 to go ahead and change how it advertises that route to router 2. And we're going to do that by going neighbor. We'll say the neighbor we're talking about. And we're going to say it is a route reflector. Oh, no, we don't do a route reflector. Next hop, self. And in doing so, put router 2. And we look at the routing table. This might take a little bit. I'm going to go and pause the video and let it refresh, and then I will continue on. Okay, it only took, I don't know, 30, 40 seconds, whatever the refresh timer is on BGP. And as we see, oh, let me get here. Where's my key, my mouse? Haha. So we see it shows up in the routing table now, and as you can see, if you were looking at my screen, we can ping it. But again, it's learned that route from router 3. It's not going to re-advertise that route to router 1 as we look in the routing table. And also if we go to look at the BGP table, it's not there neither. So it's just not sharing. So we are going to go to router 2 and turn it into a reflector route so it will share the route with everybody. And we could do this to multiple clients or multiple routers in the same autonomous system interior. So we go to enable, configure T, router BGP 6501, and then we're going to go ahead and do neighbor 10.1.1.1. What I tried doing a second ago, route reflector client. I'm going to do neighbor 172.16.1.1 route reflector client. And then we might have a minute or two for everything to set back up. But to confirm, router 3 can ping 5.5.5. That means it's two-way transmission, ping there and back. This one, router 2, can ping 5.5.5.5 there and back. Now let's look at router 1, and let's look at a show IP BGP. And we can see right now it sees the 555 network, and it sees the next hop is router 3's interface. So we can look at the IP routing table and see it appears in the routing table. If it appears in the routing table, chances are it can make it there. Ping 5.5.5.5. All right. Thank you very much for watching. I know it wasn't too exciting, but I enjoyed doing the video.